Here we are with another video for weapons in the physical attack phase, and today we're going to be looking at the lance.
The lance. Now, it's not what you're thinking. It's not technically the
It's not a light wasp mech riding on top of a quad with a lance.
Although that would be cool.
Because that's what I was thinking.
I'm seeing that in my head now. I'm gonna just watch that play out in my head for a little while. It's more kind of like a stiletto dagger type thing, or a like a rapier sort of thing.
Yeah,
it's more for armor piercing,
finessey sort of stuff.
Yeah, but it's a hole punch. It's a hole punch. It's a mech-sized hole punch. And you just like that. So what is it? 3064 was the first production?
Yeah, so the Lyran Alliance or whatever, they decided to create something like this. It was more of a cultural thing. Let's try it out. Could be fun sort of thing.
Give it a crack, and I mean, as they all seem to do, they tried it out on Solaris 7.
And absolutely.
Yeah, some people like it, some people didn't, but you know.
I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of do like it.
I kind of like it. It's pretty cool.
So what are we looking at? So it's a hatchet. Uses the hatchet rules.
So it uses the hatchet rules, which if we say that and we forget to mention it, it means that you can do the thing that we mentioned in hatchets, where you can pick whether you're attacking on the punch table or the kick table. So it has a standard +2 hit modifier, but if you choose to attack on one of the specific tables rather than the full body table, then you get an extra +4. Now that is huge. That's +6 to your 2 hit modifier. So it's a very it's not something to take lightly, because +6 can really screw you up.
Yeah.
But it's still a pretty solid hit. So delivers damage equal to the unit's tonnage divided by 5, and you round up. So it's basically the same as a hatchet. If armor remains in the location after a lance attack, the attacker rolls 2d6. On a result of 10 or higher, the strike penetrates the remaining armor and inflicts 1 point of internal damage.
Yeah.
And because you've inflicted internal damage, you get to roll on your critical hit location.
You do.
Determining critical hits.
Yeah.
You get a -2 to the result, though.
Because it's not a... Yeah. It's like a little needle prick.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's like I say, it's a needle prick. It's a hole punch. It's one specific location has taken a concentrated amount of damage rather than that sort of blat that you get usually. So that -2 makes sense. It sucks, but it makes sense.
That's all right.
If there isn't any armor left there, then you roll as normal. But this is just for this penetrating attack.
Yeah. But that's still the opportunity to hit an ammo bin.
Yep.
You know, if you get the right location.
Yes,
that's
definitely.
all you want.
Well, I mean, technically you can't rip an arm off or anything with that, because that -2 will keep you away from the 12s that you need to do it. But you can still get a couple of critical hits. If you roll a 12, you're going to get a 10, which is what, 2 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a 10 is 2 of them. And that's not to be sneezed at, especially if you've only just hit that area and it's got a lot of armor left. I mean, like I was saying before, something with an awesome, if you can do this to something like an awesome, and it's got all of that armor on those torso locations, and you punch through and get an engine hit or a gyro hit or something like that, that is devastating.
Yeah.
That is devastating.
Yeah, that's right. So I consider putting it on the like lighter, faster units.
Yeah.
And you can just swarm a unit and just boom, get those hits.
Yeah. And as we mentioned in our water video, because this is the same, well, it's a similar effect to being hit while you're in water. So if that 2d6 of 10 or higher happens, then you compromise that section and it fills with water if you're underwater. So this, in say a lake area or something like that, if you hit someone and you actually penetrate through to the internal structure, and then that section goes underwater, done.
Yeah, that's right.
So, well, worth thinking about.
Worth doing that. So.
Yeah.
So a lance weighs 1 ton and occupies 1 critical slot for every 20 tons that a unit weighs. Okay?
Okay, yep.
So it goes in the arms. The mech doesn't need to have a hand actuator to use it. I think that must mount like on the arm or something like that.
Yeah, I think it replaces the arm.
Because I mean, when you think lance, it's like a really long horse riding lance, but maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just like a shorter version. It's only supposed to. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. So it's underneath the arm. 277.
277.
276. Yeah. So it's got a few pictures of the thing there, and you can see down the bottom.
Yeah. So it's about
a lance.
So yay long. So yeah, it's
sticks out past the arm.
That makes more sense.
It's like you said, the stiletto thing was a pretty apt thing that they put in there. Yeah. It's basically just a thrusting dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool though.
It is cool.
I lost my page now. Ooh, there I am. Okay.
Yep. So you do have to have shoulder, upper, and lower arm actuators still.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you just don't need the hand.
It's punching, essentially punching. So
yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't count as a punch, so you can't do two of them.
Two of them. No, that's right.
Which would be really cool.
But still, yeah, I don't know, like that chance at a critical.
And you are attacking as a hatchet, so yeah, technically you can add that extra +4 to narrow down your 2 hit locations.
Yeah.
And
but you're doing a lot of damage, so I don't know. Yeah, it's still.
I would personally look on that as only a desperate. That would be desperation move. With a hatchet, I reckon it's doable. I reckon there's situations definitely where you would take that option and be happy with it. But with a lance, it's more of a I don't know, because you're looking at a +6. Now, base piloting, you're an 11. It's not even worth trying. But if you've got a really good pilot, then it's possible.
Against a slow-moving mech with lots of armor, that's what you want to do. Instead of trying to get through all that armor before you get criticals, just jab away with this thing and see what
penetrate that armor and get those critical hits
in
early, and a lot of them if you can.
Yeah.
But if you're going to use a lance, put a really, really good pilot. Get as close to 0 as you can, because if you've got that +2 and then a +4, you're looking at a 6 to roll, and that's without movement modifiers and things like that. So I would get as close to the 0 as you can for your pilot if you're going to use a lance.
I can see it being popular in Solaris still.
Oh, bloody
still
nice.
Useful.
Yeah. Oh, they'll love it. Yeah, they'd love it. Let's see if we can get our hatchet man. Well, he hit last time, didn't he?
So give it to the Wolverine.
Let's give it to the Wolverine.
Okay, so he's got one of those to use. Okay, so he's going up against the hatchetman. Here we go. He's got his sheet here all ready to go. He's got some damage, but it's not too bad. All right, so piloting 5. Assume they didn't do any moving or whatever. Keep it nice and simple. So adding +2, because that's what it says on this. So 7.
7.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So here we go. 7.
Nice.
We're just doing straight up, hit wherever and see what happens.
All right. So give us a location then.
All right. 6.
What's that one?
Which is the right torso.
Right torso. Okay. So then you've done your damage to the right torso, which will be 11 tons. He's a 55.
He's a 55.
Yep. So that'll be 11 tons of 11 points of damage to the torso.
11. He's only got 3 left at that spot. Look at that.
Wow.
That's nice.
But you also get your 2d6 roll.
Yeah.
And if you can get a 10 or better, you penetrate.
10 or better. No.
Bummer.
Oh.
Oh, well. But as you say, there's only 3 points of damage left on that spot. And if you had got that 10, then you would get to try for a critical,
so we'll do
which let's pretend we got the 10.
So that was a 9.
Minus 2 is 7.
Which is nothing, unfortunately.
You need an 8 to get a critical hit. So
yeah. So you need at least a 10 to do anything.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's still doable. Yeah, and it's a point of internal damage, and it's a potential for a critical.
So you would have put a dot.
Yeah, so you would have had a point of internal damage.
Which one
there. No.
So
Because it's saving time.
That's interesting. I don't know.
I like them.
Yeah.
But like I say, I would take the hatchet over that. Unless you put a really, really solid pilot in there, I would take a hatchet over a lance every time.
Free chance at a crit though each time.
Yeah. But you know what my dice rolling is. And I like the ability to be able to say, I want to hit on the punch table or I want to sweep the leg. Yeah. And that +6 is just, no. You'd have to have I personally would keep it as a 0 pilot. I'd use a Lance if I had a 0 pilot in there.
Okay.
And then definitely do it, go for it, and call it, and do that 1 in every 5 up to the punch location table, and roll a 2d6 and see if you can't penetrate the head or get a center torso critical, something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
That's well worth it.
Yeah.
If you've got a 0 pilot, it's well worth it. But if you're trying to keep your pilots at a reasonable level and not go too nuts with them, then I would go a hatchet every time. Or claws.
Claws. There you go. All right. So
All
that's
good.
the Lance. I like it. It's
I love
going to be
them.
interesting to play.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
some cool little stuff.
Give it a shot and see what happens, guys.
Okay, so that's it for now.
All
Keep an
good.
eye out for the next one.
All right.
See you
bye.
later.